So, the bioecological systems theory. This theory was written by a psychologist named Urie Bronfenbrenner. And he came up with this theory in around 1992. Basically, what this theory is that he's trying to explain that a child's development within a context of systems of relationships. So he's trying to say that a child develops based on the influences from his or her environment. So his theory can be explained with this image that I'm going to draw right here. So if this is the child right here, he said that the child has several systems layered around it. So here I'm going to start with the micro system, because that's the first system that surrounds the child. So according to Brenner, the microsystem is the closest layer to the child. This system right here contains the structures which the child has direct contacts with. For example, your family members, like your parents and your siblings. So it's just immediate family members. And then your school teachers and friends. Then comes neighborhood and your neighbors who you have direct contact with. And then if the child is an orphan, so there's the people in the orphanage or the foster care or child care thing. So here, at this level, at the microsystem level, relationships have an impact on both directions. So it could go from the child towards the parent or towards the teacher, or the influences could come from the teacher to the child. It's direct both ways. We call this influence I'm going to write it right here because I have to draw the systems over there. We call this the bidirectional influence. Okay. So at this level, the bidirectional influences are the strongest. Since they're the strongest, they have the greatest impact on the child. So let me move on to the next system. So right here, I'm trying to draw a circle. Okay, well, skip the circle. I'll just draw a line. So the next system is the mesosystem. So the mesosystem is the layer that provides the connection between the structures of the child's microsystem and for example, the connection between the child's teacher and the child's parent. So here is where, so we said that here the connection is between the child and the teacher, the child and the parent, or the child and their friends. But here the connection is between the teacher and the parent and the neighbor, or whatever happens here also has an impact on the child, but it is not direct contact with the child. So the next layer is the exosystem. So I'm just explaining it how I remember these notes. hopefully it'll help you guys. So here, this layer defines the larger social system because it's on the outside. So the larger social system, in which the child does not have a direct contact with. The structures in this layer, in this exosystem layer, impact the child's development by interacting with some structures in the child's microsystem. So it's similar to the mesosystem, but it's larger. For example, the parent's workplace schedule. So this may not be directly involved in the child, with the child, but it does make either a positive or a negative impact involving the interaction with the child's systems. So, for example, if the parent's workplace schedule is very busy, the parent is not present in the child's life most of the time. So that can have an influence on how the child learns things or does things, the affection that they receive from their parents. So development can have different routes because of the stuff that happens here in the exosystem. So the next system that I'm going to draw is the macrosystem. The macrosystem is the outermost layer in the child's environment. So this layer consists of cultural values, religious values, and laws. The interactions between all three of these layers below over here, these three layers, influence or impact the child. And depending on all three of the impact and everything that happens in these three systems, the child will be able to determine things here in the macrosystem. So the way they follow the law, the religious and cultural values they have, it all depends on the previous systems and how they impacted the child. So, excuse me. So when we come up here, the final system is the chronosystem. So the chronosystem refers to the dimension of time as it relates to the child. For example, the timing of parents' death, or any internal psychological changes that occur within the child as the child gets older.